Guys, it's time to talk about today's sponsor. Now in the YouTube world, we get emails all the time from people wanting to try out their product and give them an honest review. And I declined to do so on a lot of them because, well, simply they look like scams. So once I figured out that this company was legit, they sent me this 6-inch 21-volt cordless polisher. And I thought I could use one of those. Let's take a look and see what comes with the kit. So right away, you'll notice that we've got the Avrhit 6-inch cordless buffing polisher, and this is a variable speed. There's a couple of things I like about it and a couple of things I don't, but we are going to try and use it today on the Chrysler Cordoba to polish out this hood. It comes with 2 batteries and a charger and all the buffing pads that you see here from coarse to fine, as well as a woolen style or a synthetic woolen pad and a microfiber. Now, I spent the better part of this morning washing and drying off my 1979 Chrysler Cordoba. This thing, the paint hasn't been touched in it in at least 5 or 6 years. One of the things that we've noticed on it is the hood and the roof have got a lot of overspray just from different projects going on around the shop. Today, we're going to try our new Avrhit 6-inch variable speed polisher to see how it works. The fact that it's cordless is actually pretty awesome. So if I had to critique this polisher, it would be in regards to the batteries. Not because of their charge or anything like that, because I haven't gotten that far yet, but this is what you get for a charger, is just a cord with a plug on it that plugs individually into each battery. I would like to see something that you can actually clip the battery into for charging. The other thing is regarding the batteries is when it goes to slide onto the device, you've got to get it on there just right. Of course, I lucked out on that time to get it to lock into place, but unlocking, it's a bit sticky. Could be because the batteries are new. I'm not gonna chalk that up to a deal breaker, by no means. I do like the fact that it has a battery gauge right on the battery. That's a neat feature. A lot of new batteries are coming with that. So let's take a look at these pads as well. Now, a lot of people will ask, how do you know which pad to use for what? You want to use your heavy, thick pads for cutting, and you want to use your lighter pads for polishing. Easy way to tell is give it a squeeze. This one's a little bit stiffer than the blue one. The blue one's a little soft, so this is our polisher, and this is our cutting. And usually if you're cutting, you're going to get the dimples in some cases. This is what I like to see, is the dimples on the pads. And this is what we're going to be starting with. So let's get to work. So what we're going to be showing you in this demonstration is the polishing and the cutting capabilities of this polisher. So we are going to be polishing the hood. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we've got a nice little scratch down the side of the car here. We're going to try and cut that out and buff it back and see just how well this polisher works. So first, let's cut in a spot on the hood of this big car. So I like to start by spritzing my pad down with a little bit of water just to soften it up some so it doesn't have that scratchiness to it. And then with our cutting compound, we're just going to kind of work that into the paint and spread it out evenly. You've got an on-off switch on the top. I do prefer a trigger. I wish this thing had a trigger instead. A little bit easier to control that variable speed. But once it's on, we're going to jump this down to probably like a number 2 to get started, and then we'll work our way up. And now we're going to switch to the blue pad for some polish. And I will say, the Velcro on this thing is wicked strong. Now we're back here. We're going to tackle this scratch on the rear quarter. We're back with our buffing pad and compound. Let's see if we can make this disappear. So with that buffed and polished, we'll get a better look at it outside, but you can see I left part of the scratch right here, so you can kind of see what it looked like before. Here's the scratch, and well, it basically does not exist here on the fender anymore. So we will end this on a positive note, so let me tell you all the things that I think could be improved upon with this unit. One of them, like I said earlier, is the trigger. It would be so much more convenient to be able to pull a trigger off and on than almost have to stop what you're doing to move your hand, because if you're holding on to this, it takes a little bit of effort to do that. Again, not a big deal, but the trigger would be good. The handle on the top, it's great, but it should be a little bit longer. Something you can actually get a little more leverage on to be able to work this thing back and forth. Because it's cordless, the battery, well, as you can see, it sticks out this way quite a bit further than I would like. When I'm rolling across this hood, a couple of times I got a different angle on it and I was hitting the surface of my vehicle with the battery. I think that if they were to improve upon this and have this battery kind of be flush with the handle and come back this way a little bit more, might be a little more beneficial. And now the good is the variety of pads that it comes with. I think that you've got 5 different pads all together. They're all going to work in conjunction with each other depending on what you're doing. And is this thing going to be used for a professional detailing service? Well, maybe, but maybe not. If you're just a home DIYer, the 2 batteries should be plenty to get you through any vehicle that you're doing. Along with the pads and the right polishes, you should be able to make your car look as good as this one did. So a huge shout out to Avrhit for sending me this unit and being able to play with it. We're going to get lots of use here at my used car dealership because we've got lots of vehicles that need polishing. So I'm going to leave a discount code down in the description down below, as well as a link to purchase one of these things. They're inexpensive. If you think that this is something that would be good for your DIY garage, make sure you check out the Avrhit polisher. Thanks, Avrhit, for sending me this polisher. I'm going to have lots of fun with it. And thank you for being a part of this video.